Hey everybody, this is Colin with Gamnesia TV, bringing you some of the biggest news from the last week. So all the big news from the last week was really mostly Nintendo stuff, so rather than trying to pigeonhole all the Microsoft, Sony, and third-party information into this video, I'm just gonna leave it as Nintendo. So if you don't really like those guys, back out now. The first story to get to today is that Nintendo's Wii has finally sold 100 million units, which is a huge number. Only a very rare number of consoles have surpassed that, including the PlayStation 2 and the Nintendo DS, which is currently the best-selling console of all time. So give the Wii a crown and, bow and all that you may do to celebrate. That news doesn't really affect us in any way, but it's nice to know. On the other hand, the Wii U has been seeing a lot of trouble. UK retailer Asda, ASDA? I don't know, I'm a stupid American. Those guys have cut the Wii U price to $199 in the last 2 weeks or so, and since then, they've completely dropped in-store support of Wii U, meaning games, accessories, and consoles are no longer sold by that retailer except online. Interestingly, they did the same with Nintendo 3DS, which has been selling really, really well, so it's kind of hard to explain why Asda has been doing this. Meanwhile, in the US, retailers like GameStop and Walmart have entirely cut the Wii U from their shelves, so this is not quite a good time to be a Nintendo fan. On the other hand, there are still going to be a ton of great games coming out, like Zelda U, X, Bayonetta 2, Pikman 3, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. It's a good time for their software. Speaking of IPs, Miyamoto has confirmed that he is hard at work on his new IP, and he has said that work has actually been getting busier. So, he may be gearing up to reveal that sometime soon. This came out during an interview about Pikmin 3, specifically asked about adventure games, so the context kind of implies that his new title could be some sort of adventure game. Now that's such a huge genre that it's really hard to say anything at this point about what the game is going to be like, but it's always fun to speculate. There have also been a ton of new rumors about the upcoming The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. Of course that's a tentative title, but who cares? These rumors suggest that it will be a direct sequel to Twilight Princess. It will use those gorgeous graphics from the E3 tech demo a few years back, that it was inspired in part by Skyrim, which is actually something that Aonuma has said himself, so be excited about that nonetheless. There are a bunch of other exciting rumors in that batch, so you can head to the post if you want to see more, but you should also keep in mind that they're rumors. Probably not real. Sorry. Of course a fan can dream. Now, as far as actual facts go, official Nintendo magazine has teased new information about 2 new Hyrule adventures, so you can look forward to next month's issue, where they will probably be detailing a little bit about A Link Between Worlds and The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. Just a few minutes ago, I mentioned Pikmin 3, which is actually out in Europe already, and Miiverse is already flooding with gorgeous screenshots. Just look at these bad boys. They are beautiful. Now, admittedly, if you actually play the game, like I've seen in a couple of YouTube video reviews, the textures are not as good as the screenshots make them out to be. But it's still a gorgeous game nonetheless, and the Pikmin's Eye view is phenomenal. So head to the link down there if you want to see more of those. I also mentioned Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, and that's funny because a fan has actually started a petition to get Reggie Fils-Aimé to be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Reggie himself has said that he wouldn't actually mind and that he might be interested, and the idea is that he could use Nintendo consoles and Nintendo gimmicks to fight. The Smasher in me is really appalled by that. But the goofy guy inside really thinks it's pretty funny. And that's probably not going to go anywhere, but it's still an amusing fact. So, yay for facts that are amusing. The last and perhaps most exciting news for a Nintendo fan is that Mother 3, the long-awaited Japan-only mystery, may finally be coming to the West. Now, there's absolutely no confirmation of any sort, but Nintendo opened up a new Miiverse community called ONET Times for news and announcements about the Earthbound series. But of course, Earthbound is already out on the Virtual Console, so what news and announcements could they possibly have? Well, Earthbound's digital sales have been doing really, really well, so it would not be a surprise if they were trying to capitalize on that success in the Mother series. I suppose it's possible they may be doing another game, but we know it's definitely not Mother 4, so if it is a new game, it will not continue at all in that trilogy, and it will be related to the first 3 by title alone. Another possibility is that they will release the NES original Mother for Virtual Console. They already localized everything about it for America, but they never released it because it was, I believe, right on the cusp of the Super Nintendo. Don't quote me on that. For some reason, they never finished the localization release project, and they had a fully translated version that got leaked to the internet. You can play it if you like, but we don't condone that. Of course, by far the likeliest possibility is that Mother 3 for the Game Boy Advance will be coming to the Wii U Virtual Console. Now, why Game Boy Advance games are coming to the Wii U Virtual Console and not the 3DS Virtual Console is way beyond me, but Nintendo announced it a long time ago, and I guess that's how they work. I gotta say, I'm really excited, huge fan of Earthbound, huge fan of Mother 3, and it's really exciting to see that it may finally have an official Western release, given its huge fan following, the fact that the translator of the ROM decided to offer Nintendo his services for free, and the fact that Earthbound is doing really well. It's just kind of hard to argue at this point that Mother 3 is what they're hoping to gear up for, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if the re-release of Earthbound was really just a testing ground to see if Mother 3 would hold any weight. And as I'm sure they've seen, it has worked. So, that's the news roundup for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. That was mostly Nintendo. Sorry you guys who don't really like Nintendo. I'm surprised you made it this far if you're even watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned because we hope to have some more great video content here on the YouTube channel. So be a YouTuber guy and subscribe and do that funky stuff. I'm gonna go now. On the other hand, there are still a bunch of great games coming out like Zelda U, Pikman 3, The Wonderful 101...